Sideline of goal! Lakewood's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Bernie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's going one side! He's going a second! He's taking out! Oh my God! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome back to the Summit 2 America Group Stages by G2A.com. I'm Zyori, that's Coddle Guy. We've got 2 more games coming your way. Leviathan versus Union Gaming. I had to cheat. Couldn't even remember the teams.
Union Gaming.
Union Gaming.
Union Gaming. They're looking for their first win. They're down there. They're 0-4. They're at the bottom of the whole heap. They win on out. Who knows? Maybe they can make their way into a tiebreaker situation.
It's true, actually. If they win all the rest of their games, they have a chance.
They have a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes, but if they lose here, that chance becomes a miracle. So, but
right.
Leviathan, on the other hand, 3-2. They have a pretty nice record.
Yeah.
So they win on out. They can secure a spot. And this is a team that had battled their way all the way through the qualifier, 2-0ing everyone along the way, and they made some pretty big upsets. They are the team that did take down Complexity, giving them their 1 loss on the back of a jungle pudge, mind you. So who really knows what this team is going to be truly capable of? Let's go ahead and find out.
Let's take a look. And at that, hopefully we don't have a remake here. I see somebody DC'd on their team.
No,
there we go, and they got the Visage. Okay, we're golden. Golden Richards.
We are ready. So, look at this. Union Gaming.
Just took them a while.
They're just like, hey, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to throw our game plan right out there.
They're
we're going to
taking
throw it
their
up.
time, dude.
What are you going to do about it, Leviathan? We got Terrorblade. There's a game plan right there. Leviathan, I think they have already the early makings of some fantastic support. They get a hold of the Skywrath Mage and the Ogre. The burst is very much real from both of them, and something that Terrorblade hates. They might even go aggressive tri-lane with this one. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too. These 2 heroes are very powerful together, especially if paired with like a Mirana or some other carry that can do some pretty solid magic damage. Yeah, this Terrorblade's going to have hell in a handbasket in terms of a laning phase. Not really known for his tankiness early on. Now, Union did burn a good bit of their reserve time on their second pick, and that's the Visage. So they thought about it for a while, but sort of an interesting second pick. Not one we've seen too many teams prioritize outside of your Dro Visage kind of teams, Cloud9, stuff like that.
Yeah, Dro Visage or maybe a Medusa, but there's not enough room for one of those 2 in this game already with Terrorblade being grabbed. So that leads me to believe Visage is going to be more to accelerate or enhance the pushing potential. I'm banking we're going to see a lot more pushers come out from the side of Union Gaming. Jakiro's still in the pool if it's something they want to get a hold of, but more or less I'm expecting big siege, maybe big creeps, summons, Zookeeper builds, something.
Whoa.
Maybe a Lycan, who knows?
Jakiro, now that's speaking my language. Some teams really prioritize the Twin-Headed Dragon, and others just don't seem to recognize the power of Liquid Fire, man. That's a broken ability.
If you don't recognize it, you're going to lose towers quick. You better recognize it. It's costs nothing to do all that serious work, especially the structures. It's ridiculous. And teams are now favoring putting him in a core position, just so he can get that online even quicker. Get him a hold of a Yule Stick, and he's got a free way to lock you down and deal huge damage with Macropyre. It's out of control.
Yeah, that Yule's Scepter, oof, scary. Union Gaming, they are taking their time with this draft. 4th ban, making sure they get the right one, and they'll take out the Centaur after a 3rd ban on the PA. Leviathan, they ban out Viper, taking out another one of the birds, and still a lot of options here. Very open-ended for Union.
Seeing something like a Viper ban is either they don't want to be dealing with strong contention in the mid lane, like they might go with something more snowball like a TA, or maybe they're thinking of going some sort of melee big bad boy core, like a Wraith King, or maybe a Bristleback in the off lane, someone who would have a hard time against a Viper. It could be a preemptive ban for that, or their mid lane.
Yeah, well, and some teams also just really hate playing against Viper. He's not, even if he's not a hard counter to your hero, he's not really fun to lane against. Dro,
they banned out the Dro anyway.
I think it's a smart ban. I mean,
you never know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's a strategy Union really care for, but it's not that difficult, I would say.
I think in Stay Free's game, the one win they actually have, Ralph played Terrorblade in the mid lane. And pulled it out from there. Now, if they were going to do something like that, then of course they could sneak in a Drow probably onto the side. But it's pretty greedy at that point. You already have a Visage as well.
Yeah.
Who loves to have farm. You don't want to get too heavy greed-handed, especially with someone like Terrorblade who can soak up lots of farm with his illusions.
Yep. Well, these teams really, they're dogging it here at the mid part of this draft guide. It's so open-ended on both sides. I mean, Leviathan could be looking at something like a Void. We've seen how well he synergized it with Skywrath Mage. Saw the oh Jesus, he's been first banned.
It's okay,
I'm
man.
so sorry.
I almost thought about the Void as well for the side of Union Gaming almost before, but yeah, they get rid of it. They know they don't want to hand something like that over, but they could. I like the PA ban that Union Gaming did. Bloodlust could certainly help with her, and there's a bit of synergy there, so they're not going to allow anything like that. But the attack speed is still very much real here. This is a Leviathan standard. They pull out the Troll Warlord every once in a while, and they love to do some work with it.
Okay.
I believe the last time it was picked up, it was a farming troll on the sideline in the hands of Shredder. I believe they might have fell short that game overall, but it's a hero they definitely can go to, and already with him and Bloodlust, that's a lot of attack speed.
Yeah, that is interesting. I know they've run the troll some. Is it usually paired with the ogre, or are they just all about the troll in general?
This could be their aggro tri-lane right here.
Yeah.
These three. You know, they could throw them right down to the bottom lane and give Terrorblade a hard time. Terrorblade is so flimsy at the start with 400 and some odd life points. He's paper. You blow on him,
that's true.
Deteriorate right before your eyes before he gets a hold of that magic power tread boot or
the magic boots.
The magic boot. The power tread that gives him a little bit of meat on the bones, or a bracer at least. Early makings of a drum.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking still aggro try here from Leviathan. It seems to be one of the ways to prevent Terrorblade from getting a lot early.
That is one great thing about the troll is he's super flexible here. If you're going to go aggro try, he can solo safe lane against the Tide without too much trouble. He can go mid.
He can still go mid,
depending on who he's up against without too much trouble. And you can put him in the aggro try. So now they can kind of feel this out and see how they want to handle the Tide Hunter, third pick from Union Gaming. Finally getting some team fight onto the field. But another kind of greedy pick. I mean, Tide does need a fair bit of farm. He's all about that Blink Dagger early on.
Yeah.
So
they need someone to be selfless now in Union Gaming.
They need a good position.
Pick currently is for Leviathan. They could still get like a Dragon Knight for Shibby in the mid lane. No, it's going to be a Storm Spirit. So this, I feel, is going to be the mid lane Storm Spirit. Even though they don't see quite yet who his contender is going to be, they still have the access to flop between Troll and Storm, who kind of cover all bases pretty nicely.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility for Leviathan here. An interesting lineup, but they do have a fair bit of lockdown. You've got your Fire Blasts, you've got your Vortexes, Trolls there with some blinds, and you've got a Silence. You got a little bit of everything. I'm excited to see this. Storm Spirit, Troll Warlord.
I am. And Union Gaming, they need... Well, they're not going to go aggressive early, it looks like. They're not going to roam around. I mean, they could with Visage, but I think they might play it safe. They could get a support, maybe something like a Baden or something. No, they're going to be the one to grab
on the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, but I was expecting Dragon Knight maybe as a possible grab for Leviathan, but they'll fire back with it.
Okay.
But it adds more push flavor. I mean, once they grabbed Visage, I was like, okay, well, they're probably not going to get Drouse, so more push heavy. Dragon Knight adds a bit more to push. They could get a secondary support like, I don't know, Shadow Shaman, and have even more push on top of that.
Shadow Shaman would be really nice here. He's fallen out of flavor a bit, but frankly, I don't quite know why. Very pickable hero. Great for pushing, obviously, but brings a lot of crowd controls to the table. They've already got a Tide to handle the Blink Boys early on, but if they can knock down a couple towers, maybe take a good team fight or two, Rasta can get a Blink and be a great counter initiator also to try and keep your Tide safe and make it happen with that instant Hex.
Witch Doctor, of course, his Voodoo Restoration adds a lot to the whole army of illusions and familiars and
a good
everything.
Position 5 also.
So it's a nice band coming out from Leviathan. So it makes me more curious as far as Union Gaming what they want to do instead for their more selfless kind of support. The Crowfoot is going to be the last band here. Which is interesting because I still don't see an offlaner here for Leviathan, or at least nothing that's biting out to me, unless they're also anticipating it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane as well, and they could have gone away with the Necrophos in the solo safe lane top position.
Yeah, it could have worked. Necro, pretty good against TB, I guess. A hero that does like to buy back, tends to go BOTs. But I mean, Necro's annoying, but I don't really see exactly how he fits into this draft.
Yeah, it's probably who's going to benefit also from attack
5
speed.
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Wispless Tiny, I don't know.
I mean, it depends what they want to do with the Troll, but they could take something like a Gyrocopter. They take the Pudge.
That's a Pudge back once again. I don't know if this is going to be... Man, last time they ran the Pudge, it was Jenkins. It was a Jungle Pudge. That's not the case this time.
That was the Jungle Pudge.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, that can't happen this game. They're on the dire side. Radiant had the advantage of him being able to do the hook from the high ground to the low ground, pulling the creep up and doing the turnaround and bringing all the fresh creeps towards the jungle where he can farm them up. He actually even choked on it the first time. This time they're on the Dire side. So that's not an option. Now, they could have him be the solo safe lane farmer. They could have him mid.
Yes.
Maybe this last pick on Union Gaming will decide what they want to do with it. It is going to be the Wraith King.
Great position 5. Gives them some nice synergy with their push. Similar to that Witch Doctor. Some good sustainability with the Vampiric Aura there. All right, it will be Jenkins Pudge once more. I'm really curious to see how they choose to lane this, because they could throw the Pudge mid or safe lane. I don't think he'd fare that well against Tide. Mid lane, he'd probably have a slightly better time against the DK, I would imagine.
Jenkins played it last time in that support kind of position. I'm really curious for Leviathan what they want to do. I'm still feeling an aggro tri-lane is something they need to consider, someone who can add a lot of early
Well, so if they were going to support the Pudge here, I guess that means it would be a core Ogre to some capacity.
They could put Ogre in a solo situation and build up, you know, his early potential.
The roaming Pudge. We saw the...
Could even be mid. I mean, Ogre wouldn't have too bad of a time against Dragon Knight mid lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Saw the off-lane Pudge from Bone 7 the other day.
5 seconds remaining.
During some of the Cloud9 games. Yeah,
Oh,
the games that didn't matter. They were a little salty, so they picked some crazy stuff. It did not work so well, but it didn't really seem like Bone 7 was a very practiced hand at the Butcher.
Prepare for battle.
All right, so as things lead off here, early movement, a lot of it towards the bottom lane for Leviathan, so very much could be an aggro try here as far as who they want to leave behind, but this is just what Leviathan do. They can get first blood, early first momentum. We've seen games where, like the one they won against Complexity, where they just snowballed out of control and Complexity just got put into a corner they can never get out of.
Yeah. We'll see how they do this game. Let's do some introductions. Radiant side, we've got Union Gaming. We got Benjaz here on the position 1 Terrorblade. He'll be headed to the safe lane. Xander, he'll take the Visage safe lane. Daiko, he'll head safe lane also for a little bit of safe lane try. Sitterall, he'll take the DK mid, and that leaves Angel in the off lane with the Tidehunter. But oh boy, we got a smoke. We've got initiation. Visage caught by the stun. In some trouble early on. It's going to be a fast first blood for Leviathan. Now they cut the lane. They find Daiko, and well, there's nowhere for him to go. He's going to get chopped down also. First blood goes the way of the Storm Spirit. Second kill gets picked up by Shredder on that Troll Warlord.
Classic Leviathan, moving as a group early, looking for what they can. It doesn't mean, you know, and they don't expect it because it's not like they have a reason to be there. It's not like there's a Sand King or a jungler that's like, oh, they're going to come through because they want to put wards down. No, they're coming through because they want blood. That's Leviathan Gaming for you. They get a couple of nice kills there. Union Gaming now, bit of an early struggle. Luckily, you know, there's been no creep, no loss there. They still have all the farm opportunity, but this is more of a benefit for Leviathan in the early XP and gold game.
Yep. Most certainly, sir. So, Dire side, would you care for the introductions?
Oh, I would love to. So it's going to be Team Leviathan here at the top lane. It's going to be their farming core. Shredder, it looks like he'll be the one taking the solo safe lane at the top. That leaves Shibby in the mid lane playing your Storm Spirit. And sure enough, here is an aggressive tri-lane. Look at this funky bunch. Leading out the front, it's going to be Sunken playing your Skywrath Mage. We got Nushim playing your Ogre Magi. And Mr. Jenkins is going to be playing your Pudge. And mind you, he is sporting that Dragonclaw hook. And he can catch a lot of fair shares of hook trades right here. If he can get an early go, though, it's going to be Nushim under pressure. Try versus try action. Big soul assumption, and Union Gaming immediately go firing back as soon as they come to the lane. They kind of redeem themselves a little bit right there.
Well, Coddle Guy, you saw right there the power of the Visage in a tri-lane. That was going to be my first comment, is Visage and Ancient Apparition, the two heroes that really excel in this environment. And Soul Assumption is just unbelievably good here.
Yeah,
and
they're not done.
Initiation onto Sunken. The Wraith King starts it off. They're laying in the damage. Soul Assumption charging up. That should be a kill. Can they get in range? No, the Visage actually holds it. Getting a little greedy there. That should have been
a small window where he could have gotten it off, but then it just got too far. Skywrath with that move speed, though.
It's got a pretty big range.
Yeah, I highlighted over it. He was out by the time I checked, so it could have been a small opportunity, but
yeah,
not gonna
unfortunate. Unfortunate. You want to get those big soul assumptions, but sometimes better to use it than not get it off at all. Regardless, asserting their dominance here and making it a 3v2. It's also weird to see Pudge in a tri-lane. He's a hero that needs a lot of experience, wants to find level 6 pretty quickly, and generally speaking, a tri-lane is not the way to do it.
Yeah, they're just hoping more that they will just be able to take full control of the lane and find their own way to the levels and make sure, first and foremost, that Terrorblade's not getting easy farm. Now, Terrorblade has to be constantly watching out and making sure he's not going to get caught off by hooks. They have a nice D-ward already that was put out, and now they have vision on the side, so he'll always know, but this is time him away from those creeps. He's not getting anything about this wave. just because of the zone potential that Leviathan do have. But Union Gaming, once they stroll back through and bring Visage towards the lane, we already saw the damage they could do together.
Yeah, Benjaz already positioning more aggressively. Wraith King wrapping around the backside. Jenkins has found 6 last hits on point with the Terrorblade, and here we go. Initiation whiffs the hook. It hits a creep instead. They go in on to the Skywrath Mage, and we'll see who ends up going down first. Benjaz taking a lot of damage. He will fall, and just barely Sunken survives, but now the Wraith King gets stunned up, looking to pursue. Jenkins taking a lot of damage. Can't afford to rot any longer. Use your Soul Assumption, friend. Won't be able to get it off once more. And now Xander on the run. Terrorblades respawned. He's back in the fray, looking for some vengeance onto Sunken. Has a Metamorphosis in about 2 seconds. Jenkins with the hook over the tree line. Grabs on top of the Visage. It'll cost him his life. Can't find the deny, but Sunken does live.
Man, this bottom lane is a hot mess. They do take down Terrorblade, which is the biggest haul of the whole ordeal. So Leviathan, I'd say, still kind of come out on top. Jenkins finds an extra kill for himself. You know, now he'll return back to lane. So I think Leviathan's still sitting pretty cool here. I mean, Union Gaming, they forced out Terrorblade to have to come back to the lane and then pulled out his Metamorphosis again, where ideally you want to be using those to kind of get more last hits and get some towers. They're having these early skirmishes, and he's like, I don't want this. I want to be farming right now.
Very true. Oh, that's a hook. I'll see the side of it here onto Daiko, the Wraith King. And that'll be an easy one coming out for Leviathan. If you can start off with a hook and isolate him, and it's easy pickings. Benjaz now doubling the CS of the Pudge, but at least getting some time in the lane while his supports are creating some space, let's say.
Well, let's touch base with other lanes. I know it's not the hot to trot exciting lanes as bottom is, but you know, Shredder's getting work done top lane. He's 21-7, forcing Angel back, and typically a one-on-one engagement for a Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter should be coming out on top, or at least finding a lot. He's finding okay. He's 11-2. He's still got a long ways to go, but he'll be able to find and pull together some farm. He did go with a bottle here, interestingly enough, but now he'll just kind of head back to lane, touching base with mid. It's Shibby getting the better of it, 18-7, going against Citadel's Dragon Knight, who's currently 15-3.
And we've got an Invisible Ogre coming towards the mid lane here. Citadel's life might be in some pain. There's the Ignite to follow up. Electric Vortex. Shibby will chase him down. Not quite level 6. It'll be a close call, but Storm finds the kill. That makes it 6-2 as Leviathan pick up a quick lead here. 2,000 gold, 1,000 experience in their favor, just shy of the 5-minute mark.
Good early rotation from the Ogre. It leaves just 2 here. Now they know that, so they want to make a kill happen. Knowing that Ogre was mid lane, they want to make something. Nice defensive hook, pulls Sunken over and away, but he's still slowed down. Now Pudge goes on bouncer duty, scares back Terrorblade. Pretty low now, but they just open up on him instead, and they do get their kill. They work pretty hard for it, and it looks like Union Gaming will walk away with a small victory there, capitalizing on a situation knowing that Ogre was not around.
Yeah, Nusham coming in just towards the tail end of that engagement. Not with enough time to do anything, but a shame, because it was a close call. Pudge making some space for his good friend. Mid lane, in terms of CS, it is pretty even. The Storm Spirit does have an advantage, 26-10 versus the 20-3 Dragon Knight. But all things considered, a pretty solid lane. Dragon Knight taking that spill does tip it in favor of the Storm Spirit. I'm not really sure who's winning this tri-lane exactly down bottom. It sort of feels like Leviathan are doing okay as they're keeping the TB at bay, and now Pudge is getting some farm, but it is rather back and forth.
It's back and forth for now. Pudge is going to just commit at this point to at least get level 5. A level 3 hook can certainly go a lot further than level 2. I mean, that seems like the obvious thing, but that's when Pudges can really get the long-range catch-offs from there.
This just in, leveling up hook is a good strategy.
So they're going to move on through, take advantage of their new levels. Now it's still only a 2-2 kind of a build, but they know Terrorblade's not in lane. They know he's farming somewhere. And they get the idea right there as they see this bird family. Like, there was a guy here. He beat the hell of us. Can you help us? Please, find him.
Please, Mr. Butcher. You look more friendly than you are.
Well, they find Terrorblade. They might be able to take him down. So they get in. They pull out the Ignite, but there's going to be your Visage right there to be like, don't go any further. But they're still on the hunt. Long-range concussive shot. Look at the jump come in from Shibby, and he is there to help out. Man, they take down Terrorblade nicely. They're not done yet. Nice Vortex. They pull in Visage, take him out as well. A double kill for your Sunken Skywrath Mage. That propels him very far forward as far as just early farm on a Skywrath. But now, look, pop of Dragon Form here from Citadel, and they're not going to get anything from it.
Oh, the concussive just so good in this situation. They can use it to initiate. Now they can use it to retreat. The whole time in the bottom lane, Pudge was kind of going blow for blow with the Wraith King. And now I may need to be careful. Out comes the Wraithfire Blast. No, just a pump fake. Putting his fist out there. Going for the fist bump, but Pudge is not interested.
Benjaz, he's having a hard time here. He goes down again. After getting caught out in the jungle, now he returns back to lane. He's just trying to get together some power treads at this point, for God's sakes. He still only sports 644 life. You got Pudge on the other side, just getting in range to get the XP. But, you know, now he's got level 3. Now he might be able to look for a hook here and an opportunity to take down Terrorblade. Terrorblade's not level 6 yet. He doesn't have Sunder. He's a lot weaker.
Yeah, Pudge doesn't have his 6 either. The reflection's slow, only 2.5 seconds, but I think it's enough for the Terrorblade to clear the gap and get out of the rot. So not a guaranteed kill, but the hook alone does a lot of physical damage, and even though Terrorblade does have 11 armor, still hits pretty damn hard. 270 in level 3. There's the power treads you were talking about.
Top tower
So that'll help beef him up, as the 2 supports on the dire
Radiant
side will smoke up and they
structures are
rotate down.
fortified.
Boots on both of them. Ogre sitting level 5. 0, 1, and 8. He's been involved in all of these kills, and boy, is he feeling the benefits of that.
Now they're moving around. They place a nice aggressive ward here to catch anyone kind of rotating on through. I don't think they know yet that both supports are here on the side of Union Gaming. They think it might be only Terrorblade. The hook flies. It's not going to catch. They still don't know that those smoke supports are there. They might think that Pudge now has nothing and no hook, and they could make a jump on him and then go into a trap, or they could play it extra safe and not really do anything.
Yep, and looks like they'll
Radiant's
do
top tower is
a
under
mixture
attack.
of both. Playing it rather safe, but they've got a reinforcement coming in. Angel, that's a level 7 Tide.
Radiant's
No
top
Blink
tower
Dagger
has
yet,
fallen.
but he is ready to fight. He leaves the top lane. That creates some space for Shredder to not only shred creeps, but also the tier 1 tower. Finishes that one off. And
Getting so much farm. He's uncontested in this top lane.
I mean, look at the net worth. This is already quite scary. The 2 really big cores of Leviathan farming at the top by a huge margin. DK and Terrorblade getting kept down pretty well. This Storm.
There's just so much attention on this whole side of the map right here that they don't really even care what's happening at the top. They're just like, our Terrorblade's not getting a lot. He's getting pressured so much. We need some assistance here. Let's take this tower.
Here. Look at this.
So they're moving as a full 5-man unit. I'm curious how Leviathan are thinking they're going to do any sort of defense without their whole army here. I
With
think
a
they might just let
Ravage,
it go.
this is really scary. You may just want to sack this tower. No, they TP in. Pudge looking for a hook. He's only level 5, but Dragonite, he's got a double damage rune. Maybe you can try for a deny here, but it won't be easy. Look at all these illusions.
No, this is not a fight you want to take unless you're ready to commit a lot for it. Now, if they overextend, this could be different. So
yeah, they're going in pretty deep. Pudge looking for the right hook angle. Ogre still not level 6. This is a great timing for UG. Without a dismember or a chance for multicast, this feels a lot less risky. And the double damage on DK just couldn't have come at a better time. They force out the second glyph. Now they're looking to retreat. Ogre thinking about the stun, but nobody wants to commit for it. Hook flies through. It'll be off the mark. Out comes the Ravage. Connects on 4. Now the follow-up is here. Sunken's the first to go down. Storm comes zipping in. Pudge is in the tower range. Gets his dismember, but will be the second to fall. They get the counter kill on Tide. Shibby doing everything he can, but he's running low on mana. The Ogre goes down. Now Daiko. He may live. Shredder, still a lot of hit points to spare, but gets stunned up. He's the last one that gets left behind. Instead, just turns around onto the Visage. This is one farm Troll Warlord. He's got the Vladimir's offering quite tanky. With the phase boots, he's got a lot of chase potential. And it looks like he wants to go for it.
So close to level 6 that it would be a different story if he had that ultimate, but he doesn't. Now he has to run one way. They go for Citadel instead. He's the better target. He's slowing him down. Tomahawk's flying right now. He's doing it for his native country. Jumps on forward. Shibby, though, going to meet him at the top of the hill, and they do finish him off. Nice grab right there from Shibby, but still pretty big stuff coming up from Union Gaming. They clear out the one tower. They push on through. They feel very nice and secure. They get a couple of pickoffs. They don't lose Terrorblade, if I recall correctly, so not too bad here for Union Gaming.
Yeah, still Leviathan holding on to a 3,000 gold, 3,000 experience edge following that skirmish. Pretty much a break even in terms of hero trades, and they only get a tier 1. Leviathan do manage to hold their tier 2 with plenty of hit points to spare. So not the worst for UG, but certainly not the best either. And Benjaz still really hurting for farm, and the only difference now is Leviathan are ready to get aggressive. Pudge is now level 6, so he's ready to hook Dismember. He finds an invisibility rune.
Oh boy, he's going to bite him right here. Come on here. Gets the Dismember off. A hook to follow will secure it, and he got it. Nice grab right there. Unfortunately, Benjaz not going to be able to do a quick sidestep to try to avoid it, but that's just the aggressive wards already coming out. They had this one here. They saw Terrorblade was farming in the jungle. They saw him leave the illusion and head out, and they just continued pursuit, but also going on a pursuit of his own. Citadel popped his dragon form now, and he's on the chase. He wants that chicken. Yeah. He's not going to get it.
Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Shibby keeping him busy. That'll keep everyone alive. And as it was happening, Shredder and Nusham were just down bottom taking out that tier 1 tower. So they'll take the tower lead once more. Pudge finds a hook on Visage as we look back towards the mid lane. UG hungry for some vengeance, but without a Ravage, they should not be looking to fight. The Troll comes in from the high ground. UG taking a lot of damage. 2 go down. Now Citadel in trouble. TB comes in with the Metamorphosis.
Too late.
But it's just too little too late. Couldn't have said it better myself. Daiko comes back to life, looking for a counter kill on the Pudge, but he sips the bottle. He'll be okay. The ding-ding multicast, and Leviathan come out swinging 17-6, 12 minutes in. They'll also finish off the last Tier 1 tower for Union Gaming.
That was a 5-man takedown, counting the Visage right at the start, so they get all 5 and the tower.
Radiant's bottom
Oh
tower
man,
is
that was a
under attack.
huge fight for Leviathan. They're a team that loves to snowball and get a lot of early pressure. These aggressive wards, man, they are just constantly getting in the face of Terrorblade and wherever he is and adding attention elsewhere. And that left for a huge early farm for Shredder on this Troll Warlord. Now he's just reaping in all those benefits. Now they're going to look to go on Roche. They feel like the strong, confident team. Pressure is now on Union Gaming to pull it back together. Can they fight as a unit, though? They do have Ravage on and ready to go. Metamorphosis was already used, however, so they're not going to have the benefit of the huge right-click from their Terrorblade.
And no
but
Elder
they are
Dragon
beelining it right now towards this Roche.
Yeah, this could be scary. I don't think they'll make it in time
They
to
know they're
contest the
coming.
Roche. Pudge is coming in. He breaks the smoke. Angel does not have a gap closer. He'll walk right into it. There's the silence from Skywrath. Not the way Union Gaming wanted to start off this fight. Gets off a Ravage, but it's lackluster at best. Shibby gets locked down. Will go down, but has the Aegis. They lose their tide. Shredder now locked down in the middle of the fight. Will be able to phase boot out, but not quite. The Wraith King falls. No reincarnate for him. Visage goes down shortly after, and now TB left all by his lonesome. He drops like a kitten, and yeah, it's over. That's just
That
ouch.
was not a fight to take.
Just
I
ouch.
mean, they felt like they had to do something, but that's so early for an all-or-nothing kind of a play. They went in there knowing they didn't have Metamorphosis. They were just banking on a huge Ravage, which was never really there. You know, Pudge was there as the bouncer. He sees them coming. He's like, guys, they're coming. They're like, we already have Roche done. They take it out. They hand it over to Storm Spirit, who's gladly ready now to jump into the fray. Gets a lot of big damage off, but unfortunately, Union Gaming only come up with a kill on Shredder. It's a great person to take down, but they lose everyone in exchange for it.
Yeah, it's not even remotely worth it. If they had gotten the Roche kill themselves and the Aegis, then maybe, just maybe, that could have been a better trade, but running in like that without your Elder Dragon form quite ready, without the Metamorphosis ready to go, that's just... The Tide can't do that if he doesn't have a blink, and he's got no farm, so how's he going to get one?
Hook on
the mid lane. Oh, yeah, catches the Wraith King. And
no ultimate either. He might go down. He will. Right click's coming shortly after. With
on,
that
Pudge.
urn, not quite enough. Unfortunately, Visage a little too late to get behind. Can they stop him from getting away here? They can't. They don't have the secondary stun there and available. And quick snag there from Jenkins. Very nice.
Nice indeed. 23-7. Leviathan hanging on to their boisterous lead. Boisterous.
I mean, Union Gaming, we need to start pulling it together right now. We need to get this, somehow we need to get this blink on our Tide Hunter so we can make that huge impact at the time we want instead of having to be on the defensive.
He's so far away.
We need to somehow make the space for Terrorblade to build up that farm so that when we can fight with Metamorphosis, he's making a huge
Dire's
impact.
bottom tower is under
And
attack.
I don't know, man. They're just not letting up. Leviathan are never done.
Yeah,
and now they're pressing forward. Metamorphosis is already called out. And he's silenced. And he's going
20
to die.
seconds on
He has
Ravage.
the Sunder.
Oh,
And
he
it,
gets
though.
off the Sunder. It's a close one. Nusham pretty low. They find the kill on the Skywrath, but in comes Shredder. He's got his BKB on, doing as much damage as he can, but he'll decide just to TP out. It's a lost fight. And they will only sacrifice their Skywrath. What a Sunder.
It seemed a little too easy of a Sunder. He just frankly walked up. It was like, I'll just take the Sunder here. And I think they could have stepped back a bit, but oh man, no, it's a Storm Spirit there who just kind of bounces on in, gets a quick kill, and returns back home. Nice little hit and run right there for him, but still Leviathan get the best of it there. I mean, you may have taken our support, but we just take one back, and we still control this map. We're taking away all the farm. There's nowhere safe for your precious little Terrorblade to come out and find these little creeps. We've taken them away now. What are you going to do about it?
Oh, I don't know here, Dakota. I'm feeling so sad for Union
Look at this.
Gaming.
Jenkins just gets another great hook right there on Tide Hunter, farming the side camp. They know he needs to get farmed so we can get a blink dagger. So what do they do?
This ward right here. That's the money ward. Those are the money beats right there.
Like, you're not safe anywhere. Don't even try to leave the front gate.
Jenkins, he's sneaky. Now he's got a blink dagger. Good luck. He can find these cute little spots in the trees, and you're just never safe. You never know which angle he's coming from. Look at this Terrorblade here. He's got a Yasha. He thinks he's safe. Whoa!
Tried to go for Citadel there, but
That was a
unfortunately
close
not
one.
going to catch it.
That was a close one. Okay, well, Ogre working on his Aghanims. He's got his point booster.
All right, here we go. All or nothing here. Big time. Union Gaming. They smoke up in the base. They want to look to turn the corner and maybe go for a flank play. But Leviathan been pretty spread. They get a nice hook catch right there. And Tide, he might get bursted down. He will. No Ravage going to be spent whatsoever. And Union Gaming think, let's just do it anyways. They go in 4 versus 5. No Ravage. It should be catching him from behind. Trying to isolate Visage, but he ends up going down. They turn back immediately on him, away from his team, and take him out.
Yeah.
Now they turn their sights on everyone else. Wraith King goes down. He does have his Reincarnate available, so he'll be able to come back with that one. And now they see Jenkins. They right-click him home, and they take him down. They get 3 now. Union Gaming coming back here. Shivy made a bit of an interesting call to jump all the way back in, away from his team.
And there was no troll there. He was pushing bottom. He gets the tier 2 tower while that's happening, but not really value town. It's a 2 for 3, but that rubber band effect, they get a lot of gold out of that. It's about a 4,000 net worth swing for Union Gaming, and kind of gets them back in this a little bit. Leviathan, I think they could have just taken a straight-up team fight after that beautiful initiation on the Tide as he blinks in right into a hook, or a TP's in rather. If Shredder was there, they could have just dominated that team fight.
Well, it seems still pretty spread as far as the 4v4, which is the reason I imagine Union Gamer are like, let's just go anyways. It's clear Troll Warlord's bottom. We can win a 4v4. I feel confident about it. And while most of Leviathan were heading up towards the Radiant side Ancient Camp area, Shibby jumped back, and he just is too quick for the rest of his team. They couldn't get there to help him, and it went from a Shibby engagement to immediate 3-on-1. And he goes down, and Union Gaming come out on top because of that rubber band effect. They get a lot out of that team fight.
Yeah, they get a good bit. Still about a 9,000 gold lead, a comparable experience for Leviathan. Still very much in control of this game, but Terrorblade, that's a hero you really don't want to feed unnecessary kills into, because he will get out of control and be quite the nuisance. He is getting close to his Manta style. Still needs quite a few items to really come online and be that scary force. If he had a Midas and was farming a bit, I'd be a lot more scared right now, but without the Midas, they still need to win these team fights, because Leviathan are not going to stop there, and so far, Angel has been able to get very little done with these Ravages.
Well, they're thinking about making it go on Sunken here. They're even going to call out the drums and press on forward. Oh, a hook right down the middle is not going to catch anything for Jenkins. It's not going to get a trade-off they actually want. They just have to see their Skywrath comrade go down, and they immediately pull back. Nice pickoff, though, for Union Gaming to press on forward.
That's the kind of stuff Union Gaming needs to keep doing. If they can keep finding pickoffs right there, delay this game out, get Terrorblade some farming space, then I think this is salvageable. But they're going to need quite a few more pickoffs like that. Angel comes in, just says, fuck it, I'm going to Ravage this time, boys. Solo onto Shredder. The follow-up's not there, and not quite the Ravage he was hoping for. Some dings come out, but on the illusions, Jenkins gets left behind, and it'll be a dead Pudge. The Ravage, not quite what they needed. They still get a kill, though. And, again, it's Union Gaming that come out ahead. Terrorblade, man, he's on the up and up. Look, he's right behind that Storm Spirit now.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward engagement. Shredder just kind of ran face-to-face into Tide, and Tide saw him and was like, oh, and just immediately pulled out the ultimate. Troll couldn't react quick enough to get his own BKB off, so he eats the Ravage, but there's no one really there. They're on the other side. They creep in from behind, they catch off the Pudge, and they take him down instead. So it does work to their benefit, and they get this tier 1 in the mid lane. Terrorblade is slowly getting more and more swole, and that becomes more and more scary for Leviathan here. So they're banking on still being able to maintain control of this game, but Union Gaming, they're slowly coming back.
Yeah, Shredder trying to do some split pushing here. Finds himself a Demon Edge, probably looking at, I guess, a crit, maybe an MKB coming out as his first big core item. But still pretty scary. He's the #1 farmer by a good margin, and at least for another few items or so, I think he can still go blow for blow with the Terrorblade pretty easily. It's more about interrupting that Sunder that they have to worry about, I think. And that's on the back of the Ogre, as well as the Skywrath Mage to make sure he stays silenced.
It's going to be hard getting a hold of him, though. He moves with the group now. They move as one. They're not going to let their Terrorblade just kind of side push on the own and do the old split pushing style. Not till he has a lot more behind him. He leaves it a bit of an illusion top where he sees some pressures at. He is going to run towards the bottom lane area for now, at least going to the jungle. But we're going to see just very, very timid play. Cautious from both. They're flirting, but
Jenkins,
no one's going for first base.
This is so risky against the Visage. The birds are flying over the tree line. If they scout him out, I don't know.
He tomahawks there. He sees a bird, and he eats it.
Catches one. Yum, yum, dinner. He gets pinged out right away, and yeah, now they'll be forced to retreat.
Alright, so Union Gaming doing a nice job. They're not being pressed into their base just yet, where it looks like Leviathan are just trying to herd them to a point where they can't find farm anywhere. I mean, yeah, Terrorblade's going to have to be the one person to kind of designate all that gold farm to. That leaves everyone else pretty much starving for some sort of resources. which still works out nicely for Leviathan, but Terrorblade's one of those heroes that can bring it all back, so we'll see what they do here. As top lane, they're going to pull out the Troll Ultimate and everything. Glyph's immediately going to be popped to soak in a lot of that extra attack speed, but they got a job they want to finish here. They're going to go right for the tier 2. Jumping on forward, though, is going to be Dako. Moving with his Wraith. Oh, pulls out the BKB immediately. Angel has to step back. Can't pull out the Ravage until that BKB does expire. Terrorblade is now creeping in. Does have Metamorphosis available, but not enough for that and Sunder yet, it looks like. No, he does now. But another pushing forward. Nusha might be in trouble. Big burst damage comes out. Union Gaming claimed their first victim, taking down the support Ogre. And now Benjaz is going to pull out the Metamorphosis, and he's going to go right for top lane and get a tier 1.
The throws might be real here. That's back-to-back-to-back team fights now where Leviathan can not only take the fight, but also concede a death along the way, and Terrorblade is still just climbing up that net worth chart. It's still holding steady around a 7,000 gold and experience deficit.
Tower's going to go down so quick.
Yeah, UG going to get a tower out of it.
Can they even get the glyph off? Okay, good.
They'll be able to glyph it, but now Sitter, or Benjaz rather, he's close to a BKB, only about 1,000 gold off, doesn't find the last hit on the tower, but I'm starting to fear for Leviathan all of a sudden. Union Gaming have somehow pulled this together.
They're making it work. Leviathan is still spreading. They're still trying to take out what farm they can away from the enemy side. Pressure's there on the mid and the bottom, but Benjaz is just going to comfortably now begin to farm up this bottom lane.
Look who's got a Blink Dagger here, Dakota. Oh, Watermelon. Level 11, finding himself that Blink Ravage.
This is big. Now they can go on the offensive.
This is really big. This is the tool that UG needed to have an initiator, and now they finally have it. That sets up some room for Dragonite to start doing some damage. He's 300 from a BKB. Look at all these magic immunities that are going to be coming out soon. I mean, even the mech on Visage made a big difference in that last fight.
I'm really curious to see what the game plan is. It looks like Leviathan want to try to get one more Roche in. Now, Union Gaming could contest this. They still have Ravage available, and now with Blink Dagger, it makes it all the more appetizing. Leviathan, though, trying to create proper position. They have Skywrath up and behind to scout things out, but here's Terrorblade's illusion. They know something's fishy here. They smoke on forward. Oh, the Ravage is popped preemptively. He doesn't even blink. No Ravage in this fight. A save comes out from Pudge, and Union Gaming are still going to look through for a fight right now. Oh, no.
I like that his team pings on him, too. Just like, really, dude? Really?
That is
you had to go and blow your load on nothing. Jesus, Tide. Jesus. That was...
They're still hanging, though.
Oh, they want it. They say, Angel, get in there. Sacrificial Lamb. He initiates onto the Pudge. The follow-up damage onto Shibby. The Mystic Flare doesn't do a hell of a lot. They get the kill on Storm, and now it's Jenkins on the run. Another negative urn stacked up. Daiko in the front, but he's body blocking his whole team. They can't make it through, and it's just a 1-0. So even without the Ravage, Coddle Guy, they're still doing it.
I mean, they
Angel, again, he's the one in the front
forward,
lines.
but now almost bursted down. They immediately fire back. Hook's not going to be able to, but the Ignite will be. It could be enough to take him down, but it is a Tide Hunter. He should be able to soak it up and live. Nope, never mind. As I say that, he will end up falling. Make it a 1-for-1 trade, though Shibby's much more of a prized possession. Now they open up on this tower. Dragon Form's ready to go. Metamorphosis freshly popped up. The damage is real. You got to look at it sometimes. It's just out of control. Now they take down the tower. They walk back with their winnings. Union Gaming now getting their side of the map back.
They're right back in it, dude. Oof. They are right back in it. It might be 15-27, but Union Gaming are the ones with the momentum right now. The golden experience graphs are slowly but surely moving in their favor. If this Tide could start landing some Ravages, I think they could win this game. It's all on you, buddy. You can do this, Tide.
Yeah, just a bit of a stage fright, we'll say, for the first
believe
year. Yeah. But strong use of that Blink and Ravage, which didn't quite happen. But Leviathan, man, they're going right back for Roche. I feel like they got it. They're going for it, baby.
They might. They did walk right by this ward on the high ground that the Radiant put down. They should be aware. Will they actually move in to contest it? It doesn't look like it. Maybe they weren't paying attention.
All right, nice free grab here. Looks like for Team Leviathan. Allows them to come back from a game that looks like starting to slip away from him. This extra life certainly does help. It's going to be in the hands of Shibby. Really can utilize it, of course, on his Storm Spirit. So here we go. The late game. Not as strong as the Terrorblade on Leviathan. I wonder how quick they're going to look to react and make something happen.
Well, Shredder, I still want to know what he's going for here. Holding on to this Demon Edge. Could grab the data list at this point if he was so inclined. Maybe pulling for buyback. I was thinking it could be just an early MKB, maybe anticipating some some evasion out of the Terrorblade. Sorry, I just saw the 2-minute delay recap of the Tide Ravage, and I just
people are having a field day with it apparently. So
yeah.
I like this. So Union Gaming, they move back through. They place a nice aggressive ward up here. They're just taking map control back, and there was a point there when it was not safe to go anywhere. Tidehunter was farming just the closest camp to their base, and he got hooked and caught out from Jenkins and got taken down. So look how the things have changed. They move on through. They have vision now of all the Leviathan movement here in the top lane. Who's committed, who's not. Shibby's in mid lane, so they know it's only 4 top. So maybe they kind of get what they're going for now, and then they go top lane and make a fight happen.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think they're also okay. There was a period where Union were forced to fight, and now I think they're feeling a lot more safe just in general, and they're okay with stalling this game, letting Terrorblade get some serious farm, and feeling pretty comfortable that he'll be able to outcarry this troll as he gets more items and the troll's BKB gets a little bit worse. I fear for this troll once he only has 5 seconds of magic immunity. And again, it's really all about these Ravages. If he can Ravage 5 heroes after their BKBs are done, more power to you. This is you, Tide. Hook from Pudge will miss. He goes in. Ravage connects on 2. Not a bad way to get it started. Shredder will BKB off it. Shibby comes in. They'll lose the Dragon Knight. And down goes their Wraith King for the first time. Xander left behind. The Tide, he's in trouble. Leviathan, they're the ones coming out hot. Daiko gets locked down, blown up.
Pushing the other lane. He's in the base. He's doing Terrorblade things. He's now going on this tier 3 tower. He's like, cute fighting all. I lost my team, but I got your base. He's moving right in now, and he's dishing out huge damage. You got to look at it. He's in it on the tower right now. He takes out a Rax. BKB, TP. See you later.
What a hero. What a fucking hero. Oh my god. Leviathan, though, they're going to press on. 2 buybacks used by Union. Tide and Wraith King back in the fray. Angel, he's in hot pursuit. No Ravage, but not a care in the world. He won't be able to stop anybody from making their escape, and Storm didn't even use his Aegis that fight. I mean, yeah, they got a barracks out of it. That's kind of nice and all, but Leviathan really just wrecked him.
Really did. I mean, they took a huge fight. Leviathan came out on top, but as far as objective gaming, they didn't do anything in the base. Small damage on the tier 3, and look what Terrorblade got done on his own. Took it real hard to him. Took out the tier 3. Did take out the ranged racks, but still, a nice grab nonetheless. Pulls it back for his team. Union Gaming still very, very comfortable here. And Leviathan might look to fight once more to try to make use of what time is left on this Aegis.
Yeah, those 2 buybacks are what really hurt, though. That's going to force Union to be a little bit more cautious. Pudge, Invisibility Rune, Bloodlust, he's huge, he's ready. He wants to eat something.
Bite something here. Ravage is not there. Hook into the bite. Fire Blast, no multi. Shibby sweeps on through, cleans it up. He's not done yet. Bouncing forward. He's going for Daiko here. No reincarnation. If he goes down, he's down for good. And no buybacks on either. Hey, how's it going, Citadel? You're next. That forces out the BKB. He's already in dragon form. And he steps away. Now the comeback is real as Shibby will go down. Uses the Aegis, which they desperately need to do. They go back to mid lane. Terrorblade's already creeping on top, though, so they can't just kind of go all the way down mid lane. They might have to send some people back. Terrorblade, fantastic job adding pressure elsewhere. He's already got near 2.5k gold. It looks like he's going to be going for a Scotty. Yep. He's in good seating right here. As long as he doesn't lose a lot in his own base from his other team, he can get a lot done.
Yeah, I think BOT should be in his near future if he wants to continue with this kind of split pushy kind of play. The BOTs are so much better. Even the shorter cooldown makes them worth it aside from just the inventory slot. But as always, Scotty, a good item on that hero, and he's continuing to farm well. Only about 1,000 behind that of the troll. Still maintaining his #1 seed, another 2,100 gold up after that MKB he picked up before the last team fight, and now moves into a crit. So, dude, this troll is...
He's bringing together a lot of damage. The one thing that was going their way is that he had called out the ultimate. They went for the Pudge hook. When it missed, Union Gaming is like, okay, let's go. But they still had a lot of the troll ultimate to work with because of that fight, and they definitely found their focus and bursted down some heroes quickly, including that Dragon Knight. So Shredder making a lot of impact in the game, both globally and in these fights for now. I'm curious what he's going to go for next. It looks like it's just going to be more raw damage here, going right for the Daedalus.
Yep, all about them crits. And Shredder, he lives up to his name more often than not, I've noticed. He tends to just play these heroes where you can literally shred people. The Storm Ultimate Orb, I would guess that's a Hex coming out. I think that's something that they could really really utilize here for this Terrorblade, especially if the Storm can zip in and jump in before he can BKB. And maybe some options to lock him down and take him out. But
A sheep would be huge.
Yeah.
So I'm all aboard.
And there's a
sheep
BKB
wagon.
on the Pudge now, so old fudge cake.
Nice.
BKB'd up and ready to eat him. Oh, yeah, here
High
you
ceiling
go.
on this hero, too. More kills he gets involved with, the better he gets, man. He's already got 19 flesh strength. Near 3k life.
Yep.
a
Now,
big boy.
Oh, hooky. Hooky. Nope, no hitty. The chubster here, ogre. Check that out. Got
What's
a
he got?
scepter.
All right. That
So
now things get fun.
Watch yourself. You've got a refined, you've got an unrefined.
Hey, you get lucky on that end. You could be bringing your Terrorblade down to damn near next to nothing.
Just a little bit of RNG, that's all it takes. 1,700 hit points sounds like a lot, but 3x into a 3x. Ouch. Hook. Oop, just misses.
Going fishing, not getting a bite yet. Pulls them back, keeps Union Gaming guessing as far as what it is, forcing them together into this buddy-buddy kind of a system. And they're not back in a place where they can have Terrorblade push out so far on his own. Leviathan just kind of swimming through the pool, holding their side of the map, taking away the farm on the way out. You can see Sunken over here taking it away from the enemy side. It's leaving them all together. But if Leviathan overstep a bit, this whole team of Union Gaming could jump on them and then have a bit of an advantage.
And there's your Scatty. This
So
TB.
it's a Scotty. Now he has no buyback.
2,200 gold. That's a good point. No buy. Let's take a look at the buyback chart, see what's going on here. Really just Dragon Knight and the Troll. Yeah, the Skywrath has one, but we'll see what Sunken can do. Blink Dagger on the DK, so getting some more counter initiation. Pretty good. Still relying on the Tide to start off most of it. The Wraith King did not go for a blink, so Citadel kind of making up for it here.
They're pressuring both mid and bottom now on Leviathan, trying to bring them back and into the base here.
They're really just trying to get this Tide to waste his Ravage again. They're like, I know this Tide. Let's see what we can get him to do, boys.
Keep poking at him.
Just
Maybe he'll just pop it on accident.
Yeah,
We'll see.
he's got the raw hide and the octopus hat. It's a shark eating an octopus eating his head. Full meta.
He's been through a long life. He's seen a lot of shit.
It's a tough life as a Tide Hunter. You're just
So we'll see
surfing
where
around.
they smoke up. They're going to leave the base. They walk out the front gate now. And they will go right on Jenkins here. Oh, blink forward. Bad timing as Jenkins was already on the way back. So they
jig
see
is
him
up.
come out of nowhere.
And he uses an Elder for
Look how
that.
quick everyone spreads from Leviathan. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey there, big fella.
They were trying to go aggressive on us.
This is actually not a good time for UG to fight. Tide doesn't have a buyback, nor does the Wraith King. They're down for another minute,
Notice
so if they
Terrorblade
get
until he
cleaned
gets
up
cold.
here.
They make a jump on Jenkins, however. They get a hold of him this time. Skyrath's going to be there to help out. He can't quite do it. And unfortunately, it looks like he might be able to get away. TP. Yes, successful TP out on the back end of that BKB. Sunken quickly pulls back. Probably gets the call out from his comrade like, I'll be fine. I can get away. And Pudge, it only costs 1 BKB charge. While top lane, Shredder is just creeping on down from the north, adding continuous pressure from all over.
They'll have to come back to deal with him. It looks like they'll be able to do that. Shredder does have a TP scroll to go with that BKB, so feeling pretty safe. TB just about to have his buyback, so I'm feeling a little bit more safe. Roche is up in less than a minute also.
That's a big one, too.
Yep. Could be
A lot of people going to get on that. Sunken scouting out and seeing Angel here. Whoa, he puts out a Mystic Flare.
just
Oh, I
pushing
see
him
you.
back.
I don't really know what he's trying to get done here, except that
Burn
let him
through
know
his
that he
mana
sees
pool,
him.
yeah. All right, well.
Maybe an AFK farming Tide would have lost, but I don't know.
It is Scythe of Ice out on the Storm Spirit, so Shibby, he's ready to zip across the map and set up some initiations for the team.
He's you know, it's a
good
Storm
news.
Spirit. He's one of the best at taking care of side split pushing rat kind of people who are thinking that they're going to just kind of creep down the side lane and make themselves into the base, but then you see a flying Storm Spirit come out from the blue and he sheeps you up immediately. There's nothing you can do and you can get bursted down before you even can press that BKB.
Yep, that's for sure. Leviathan, they're moving in. They want to pressure something here, and this is tricky. I think Leviathan can actually take a straight-up fight, but doing it into the high ground in this little choke where the Tide can get off the biggest of Ravages, you got to be a little bit scared, and it's pretty hard to BKB preemptively against Ravage, especially when they're down to this low of a duration. They
Well,
will ping
they're-
out Roche, though, and this
Yeah.
is Roche 3, so Leviathan...
So they
Feeling good.
push him back to the base. They beeline it back towards the Roche. They place a couple of wards along the way so they can see if Union Gaming follow them towards the Roche pit, which they're not. And at the rate this Roche is falling, they won't even have time to think about Roche before it's already done. Like, oh yeah, Roche. Oh, Roche is dead. Okay, well, it's over. And once again, actually for the third time straight now, Shibby is going to get the Aegis.
Yeah, no big surprise there. Storm is one of the best, if not the best, Aegis carriers. So non-cooldown reliant, and refilling that mana pool, man, it's like a regeneration room. Good stuff.
That leaves the cheese with Shredder on his troll.
Yep.
That's Gouda.
Yep. So the
And
good
now
stuff
they're
there.
gonna move, down
Nice
this
Roshan
mid lane.
Sheta. A little bit
This
of
might be
Bree.
another smoke play here from Union Gaming. They're crowded around, but I don't see a smoke on anyone.
Nah.
They're just kind of dancing in front of their front gate for now. Trying to see if they can get any sort of intel as far as where everyone is on Leviathan. They are going to see that Troll's in the top, but he has Boots of Travel, so he can get it into a skirmish pretty quick.
And still no BOTs up on the Terrorblade. I reckon that'll be his next choice. He does have 3,100 gold. Could pawn off his power treads, buy up the BOTs, and still have enough for buyback. But maybe thinking about something else for his next item choice.
Well, he could. He's like, oh, I could also hold the power treads and do the 2 feet, 2 boots method.
Yeah,
At least
that's true. I
until
guess
I
you
have
can
to get
dump
rid
the
of power
TP
treads.
scroll.
And just jump the TP score, yeah. Which
Yep, good point.
that's probably going to be what it is.
Good call, good call. Very slow here as we get towards the beginning of the late game, I guess you could say. The data list now completed on the Troll, but both teams pretty comfortable just sitting back and farming. Leviathan with a huge lead now of over just about 20,000 gold, 25k experience. They'll feel pretty safe getting this Troll bigger and badder. And, well, UG kind of feeling the same way with this Terrorblade. The more space he has, the better. And they'll hang out in the top lane.
They're putting a lot of effort on trying to get a hold of a replicate here. Of course, the Tidehunter replicate, you just never really know. He's not taking much damage, so you can't really tell immediately. Ooh, hook flies out, not going to catch. Obviously, that would be their ideal case of scenario of getting a nice prep on someone, preferably Tidehunter. If they can take him out before the Ravage, that would be huge. So
Ancient Seal on a creep. Good stuff.
in here, Visage is top. Does have a TP, but not even with the birds. Birds are now en route towards
It's
the
a
bottom, but
4v5 and LVT still playing this very cautious. I guess they just don't have a lot of incentive to force the issue. They've got Pudge who can sit
They have
back
to
and keep fishing with those hooks.
they have to stand so far back on the side of Union Gaming, and they don't have a lot that can siege from the low ground. It's not like they have Sniper. They have Troll, but he has to get pretty close to even do something, and now he's going to get caught out. Ravage follow-up. They're trying to burst down Shredder quickly. Can they do it? They can, but they also managed to take down Angel on the backhand side of his Ravage. So Troll immediate buyback will be able to boot the travel in. Should be eating huge damage, trying to get a hold of Benjaz here, but Benjaz is already trying to open up from the backhand side. They do manage to burst down the DK. Now they put their sights on Benjaz. And moving on forward, Jenkins, the big boss Pudge, able to bite him and lock him in place. And now, Angel, that's a dieback for him. Everyone's out. Terrorblade buys back. He has no metamorphosis. Your bottom racks are about to go down. Union Gaming. I don't know. This might be enough to actually call the game.
Yeah, I think so. The Storm Spirit went down, came back because of the Aegis, and the Troll did die and then BOT back in. So it wasn't a clean sweep, but UG getting 6 deaths there as Shibby jumps into the well. Benjaz gets pulled down, and oh man, that's going to be a dieback for the Terrorblade. And at this point, I think we're looking at GG territory. They're all dead for another 15 or so. Mid lane of racks go down, and Benjaz calls it. Leviathan looking good here against Union, who still will be hungry for a win after this game here.
Leviathan do this kind of method really well, and it's like what I felt was one of the weaknesses to like Complexity Gaming is going against lineups that kind of take you outside of your comfort zone. And a lineup like that is very uncomforting to see, especially as a Terrorblade. You're seeing a Pudge on the other side and an Ogre Skywrath kind of combo. You're going to get harassed all day. He never got to the point where he wanted to farm. There was an opening period there, and he got a lot done. That huge fight that occurred, and he got a lot out of the bottom lane and took down the sets of racks and everything was fantastic. But ultimately, when they were just in dire straits as far as farm, they had to focus everything on their Terrorblade. No one else really got a whole lot. It crumbled.
He farmed pretty well, but at the end, the Storm and the Troll were able to scale so much more effectively. Even the Pudge had a great game. He ended 9, 5, and 18, so you know, it wasn't a feed lord. Had a couple of goofy hooks, but Angel got to work on those Ravages, man. That Tide was kind of standouty. He was the anchor that game.
It was rough.
The
It's
fantasy
rough.
points reflect it.
It's rough right now for Union Gaming. Unfortunately for them, they still are not going to get their first win. They now get moved down to 0-5. It's almost safe to say that they will not be any sort of contention for a playoff spot, but they're still got some games ahead of them. Maybe
Leviathan 4-2 though. That's not so bad.
That's really good. I mean, 4-2 puts them up in, well, third,
puts them in
fourth place.
Playoff
So-
territory, yeah.
And this is a team, mind you, that fought their way all the way through. They're passing on sponsorships along the way. They want to make sure they earn their right. So They're winning over new fans every game.
Well, there you go. We'll get to see Leviathan once more. They'll have a tough game coming up for our final match of the day, Leviathan versus Not Today. So stick around. That one will be starting in about 15 minutes. I'm Zyori, that's Coddle Guy. If you enjoyed the cast, follow us on Twitter at ZyoriTV, at Coddle Guy, both in the title of this broadcast. And, of course, follow at Beyond the Summit. We'll be back for one more match.